Put it on you. Pass it to.
And good afternoon, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 32 of the Leaders Only Digital Show and Podcast. I am Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
We're brought to you today by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone TV. Since June, as you know, is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we'll be diving into the subject a little bit more this week as well. So please invite your friends, your family, to subscribe, check out the Leaders Only Show, have a watch party, join the channel, share, like, hit the bell, comment below. And if you're watching the live stream, that's okay. But if you're not, you can always catch us and put hashtag replay to let us know that you're catching it afterwards in the comments. Let us know that you were here. What's up, bro? How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm good, man. I had a great time yesterday. Enjoyed myself. Great food. Thanks for the hospitality. Blessed to be here another day. Another episode, baby. We ready to go.
That's
How
what's
you?
up. That's what's. I'm good. I'm ready to get some rest. But I'm good, man. I had a great time yesterday. I'm thankful for everybody that came. Those who didn't come missed it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just all that food. We got a lot of food. And I was just thankful that everybody was able to take a lot with them. And those who came, it was a test run, you know what I mean? Because it was a blend of, different people. Some were family by blood, some were, teammates, and then some were people who met over the course of years, some were from school. but wanted to have people who constantly check up on me, you know what I mean, who help out, who help with daddy, who help out with my sanity, just, keeping in contact and showing up for you. So just wanted to invite those people because I knew it would be all vegan and plant-based and, no
Yeah,
alcohol. So people that already experienced the world that I'm living in and that my lady that we're creating, we just wanted to, bring everybody together and do that. So it turned out great. Next, we got a chance to do a trial run so we can get some pointers off and go back next time. More fans. What I mean, we're gonna try to find something to do missed. And I would suggest that we get like a big adult kiddie pool, like something that's just big
yeah,
enough for people, no matter what, if they just could sit in it, have their beverage in it, food in it, but just
yeah.
cool off if they.
Yeah, it was dope though, man. It was a great atmosphere. We appreciate it. Food is always good, no matter if it's different. It's always good. I never get a complaint on it. If you're not a fan of good eats, then it's kind of hard to get in the mix. Yeah, but
Indeed, yeah,
it was great food, man. My number one was the queso, the
yeah,
gumbo. My number, my same shots. I go at them every time, so I appreciate it. It was
yeah. A
dope.
lot of people, it was crushing that queso, uh, for
Yeah,
sure. So, like I said, man, I'm just glad people been sending me pictures, texts, like, yo, this is good, and I can't wait to get more reviews on the lasagna because we actually made it out of walnut. So the ground
the
beef that it
cheese.
would be, we made it out of walnut. No, the actual
What
crumble.
what kind of what y'all made y'all cheese out of?
Oh no, for the lasagna we used plant-based cheese. So we used mozzarella, we used provolone,
So
and it was
y'all
some
use the
cheddar.
walnuts as the meat. Walnuts as
Yep.
the meat. I seen tacos like that too. I
Yeah,
seen
we just did some
tacos.
tacos. We did tacos and lasagna for a meal plan last week. So we was like, man, we just gonna continue and do that and slide it in and see how everybody like it. But these
The
events, like,
cheese.
what I mean, when we come together, they also a good time for us to get feedback. You know what I mean? We like honest feedback, so it's always good to get people who haven't fully transitioned all the way to be able to eat it, give you feedback, and not be disappointed. So you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean. Before we get hung up there, I'm just
Great,
thankful. You
great,
know
great
what I'm saying.
reviews on your Philly steak, on your Philly cheese steak. That
Oh
joint
yeah,
was
man.
great
I
reviews
think
on
that
that.
was.
Everybody, even the
I
kids.
had I had a scoop of baked beans, and I had a scoop of the Puerto Rican rice, and that was it. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to today. But like I said, man, my main thing my main thing at these times is to take some stress off of people, to understand
Yeah.
that we all got a load on us. We all do a lot, so don't make it about money. You know what I mean? Don't make it about excuses. Just show up and let somebody cater to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
create the atmosphere
Yeah.
missing. We the adults who got to do the cookouts and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So whenever you do something, bring somebody into your household, bring them into your world. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we could be here all day talking about it, but thank you for
Yeah.
coming. Thank everybody for coming, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you made it back today.
We definitely appreciate it, man. We're gonna go ahead and dive in. Juneteenth was was celebrated last week as as a federal holiday. Views vary on the subject, but we encourage you to know your history and not just believe what you're told. what
hmm
you think,
Uh,
man?
yeah, I mean, you already know, man. That's definite. The reason why you have to know your history is so you don't fall into it. I know that working, you know what I mean, that most people just, they take the day off. You know what I'm saying? They're glad that they get the holiday. For a long time, it wasn't recognized at all. So honestly, I'm just thankful that they brought it up for us to be aware. Because you might have heard about it in government, you might have heard about it in social studies, but it wasn't on your radar in 2020 whatever
Right.
when they made it a federal holiday. But as I always tell you, once you get the information, go do your homework so you can have the knowledge. It did not free us. You know what I mean? We're still not free. Mentally, they have us enslaved. And I'm not even saying it as as I get older and I shift, what I mean? I'm choosing peace because a lot of things we can't control. And I remember when we were young, mommy would always say the serenity prayer, you know what I mean? And God grant me
Mm-hmm.
the things I can't. God grant me the power to accept the things I cannot change. Um, that statement is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Although it's longer, you know what I mean. But I've accepted the things I cannot change. I can't change who's the president. I can't change if we're going to war or not. I can't change if they're gonna make it a holiday or not, or if somebody's gonna respect me. What I can do is continue to create this little piece of my world. It's called my world, Samaj's world. Everybody has the right to create their little piece of their world within this chaos. Everything
Mm-hmm.
is right now being created and being connected to where I'm sitting right now. From you being disconnected from sitting under the sun, from you being disconnected from your family to be able to have a conversation, not to bag on one another or bring up just trauma and pain, but we do a lot of suppressing, we do a lot of tucking it in. We get to a greater place when we can say, yo, you hurt my feelings. You hurt my feelings. Okay, cool. I don't hate you. I don't hate you either. I love you. I come from dysfunction. I come from BS. I come from disrespect. So do I. I'm trying to figure out a way to talk to you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to talk to you. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we do that without it just being total chaos. So when they bring up these holidays and Juneteenth and the way they celebrate it, some people got red, black, and green. Other people, the flag that they're choosing is red, white, and blue. My thing is connect with your people, unify with your people. If it's your family, if it's blood, if it's your tribe that you're creating, a little bit of family, a little bit of friends, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Do whatever you have to do, but do your homework. You know what I mean? As I said, do your homework so you know the truth. But what's the point of knowing the truth if we ain't gonna live it? No way. It's kind of pointless. I always say it anyway. People have been killed for reading. People have been killed for going in public places that when they said that we were allowed. But I've waken up and smelt the coffee. If somebody comes to your land and we can just do the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles, in sports terms, they're playing one another to have the best record. So whoever can get the championship at the end of the year can be the world champion, right? So in these terms, we're going to change that to war. We're battling with other countries and other powers that be. Everybody don't agree. But when somebody comes and takes over your land, whether they say it was indigenous, whether they say it was Native American, Indians, whatever they say, I believe that somewhere in there they look like you and I. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go back and forth, but what I do believe is they fought, they lost. You know what I mean? We got conquered. They still on our land conquering
Mm-hmm.
us. Still under your conquerors. The only way you get it back is to fight or negotiate. You feel me? I don't see nobody unifying so we can fight or negotiate outside of each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was here for. I respect the jokes. I respect it. The jig is up. You know what I mean? You can't be mad when Russia go do what they do, or this people go do what they do, or this gang go do what they do, or whatever. It's all in when there's a takeover. You either fight it or you run or let them take over, and they're going to give you the rules. And I believe the reason why they didn't kill us all was because they can't be in two places at one time. You can't rule something so big, you know what I mean, and not use the people to keep it running. That's why, i.e., we are on the military, we teach the kids, we are on the medical staff, we do all the working. We don't do all the owning. And when your owner tells you you better go work, this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. And I'll give you a holiday to make it feel better. I'll give you a higher salary to make it feel better. I'll even take you out of chains and let you think that you got control over your life. Whatever to make it feel better. I'm over here. I don't really care about you. I just want you to feel better because whatever I need you to do, go get that shit done. Excuse my language. But that's what it boils down to for me. And that's the way, like I said, I've been observing it for years through my eyes. I've been observing it for years through my emotions. I come from the same background, you know what I mean, as anybody else. We can play, we can harp, we can say, oh, my mommy didn't do this and my daddy wasn't there. But I'm 41. Today, what can I do to do it better? I can be better to
Right.
my niece. I can prepare for my children. I can do this. But getting lost in holidays, ain't no day better than the next to me. Every day we wake up is a blessing. And when we keep leaving things in the hands of man, we lose sight of these beautiful things and the connection that the Most High created for us.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree, man. Go ahead and dive into the next one.
All right. So in the next one, man, it's a very shocking story because the
Let's
remains
go.
of nearly 800 babies, children could be in waste tank at the nun-run Irish unwed mother and baby home. Crews
Mm,
began excavating the former bond-secured mother and baby home in Tuam, Ireland. The home was run by Catholic nuns and closed in 1961 after many children died there. In 2014, historian Catherine Corliss tracked down death certificates for nearly 800 children who died
mm,
at the home in Tuam between the 1920s and 1961, but could only find a burial record for one child. Let's jump into
mm.
this video and let's come right back. And we're
Mm.
back, and as you can see, man, that was a very, very devastating story. So I'm gonna get your thoughts first, and I'll follow up with you, bro.
Um, it's a sick motive. It's shocking to see that many kids, come up deceased like that.
Mm.
The motive behind it is kind of tricky to me. They put it on religion and things of that nature. But you just gotta have a sick nature to do things of that nature, man. And all I could do is send my heart out to them, prayers out to their families. But that's a sick place, and I don't necessarily know where that is, but
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's what I don't know. What's the punishment behind that? Where they're, you know, and who,
Yeah,
who's behind this?
right. I think so much
Uh,
time has passed, and the reason why it did pass, just to answer what you were saying, it ain't gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I think what it did was it shows us. You know what I mean? When they pop up, it's a shocker because I thought at first, I thought it was here. You know what I mean? When it first like came as a story through Instagram, so I thought it was here, but I agree totally with you, man. It's disgusting, but then it also makes me think about different species of people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When organs and blood, like I said, man, ain't here to change nobody's mind, but here to open somebody's mind. So certain things that I've seen, that I know that our DNA is not the same as everybody's. Like we got a special set of DNA, like everybody else got their own special set of DNA, and I know certain people, or certain species, they operate and they thrive off of children's blood. I do know that harvesting organs and things like that are real. I do believe that some of this meat that is, in fast food, um, are from the remains of humans. I know that they do take things like placentas. I do know that they take things as far as, getting a child's adrenaline in that blood. So it's like, high energized blood because they're scared, you know what I mean? So it has their hormones in it. So I think about those type of things when you hear those stories, but being in America, being in 2025 is like, um, I can't give, like, it's like that story is like, it's heartfelt and it's gut wrenching when you just scrolling. But then when
Right.
you like, man, this type of stuff happened to us all the time. You know what I mean? Or what happened to the babies? Because it wasn't 800 found, from 1 year. It's like from that
Right.
much time. And if you look up the numbers on how many mothers, pass away, in our community from, childbirth, just giving birth, or how many
Right.
children, have kidnap or they take them today. I always reference that young lady that they found, that we've been looking for, from the Chicago with the freezer. You know what I mean? And they found, I think she showed back up with just her organs missing or something like that. So I always think, uh, like, what in the world when I hear it, but I think about history just be repeating itself. Like, this is something that has to go on because this is a bloodline of people. You know what I mean? They survive like this. Um, but yeah, only thing I could think of is just like you. It's deeper than that. People knew it was a way of hiding, so that means somebody powerful was in control. And I don't think that even if it was to be found out, they'll find a way. You know what I mean? Either that we don't even know if that person is even living who is responsible
Right.
for it, but they'll find a way. You know what I'm saying? To blame it on the mishaps or something like that, and sweep it back under the rug.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's true. Um, yeah, it's crazy, but true, man. June is Men's Mental Health Month. It is a time to raise awareness about men's mental health issues, reduce stigma, and encourage men to seek help when needed. We're gonna break. We're gonna discuss this right here, man. Um, I feel like mental health, man, is one of the biggest things right now for men because we hold so much in. Um, from so much past stigmas and how we was raised and things of that nature, and for men not having men in the household in so many situations throughout the years, it just caused us to break and hold everything in, caused us to throw up a shield. And I'm just one of them people that's been outspoken about my situation, about what I go through. I used to bottle things up until I made my mistake and had to learn myself and through my situation that I went through. And it really opened me up. And it really showed me that releasing it instead of holding it in is better for you. You're not gonna always get the answers you want. You're probably not gonna always get the feeling that you want. But once you continue to build on releasing, then eventually the tables will turn, you know. I'm kind of appreciative of the awareness that we get. Sometimes I get mind tricked. Sometimes I feel a certain way with the media, how they broadcast it and oversaturated with certain people for me not really knowing. I can't be the judge of that, but I just be feeling like they're oversaturated with famous people, you know, and they
Hmm.
don't really tackle the people that's really going through it.
Hmm.
That that the light's not shining. So that's my take on it. I'm thankful for it. I'm one of them people that suffer from it. Um, but I'm definitely healing. I'm definitely feeling very better, and I definitely support it on all aspects.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, whether we break it down into months, days, years, men's mental health, it matters. You know what I mean? Um, but as I tell you all the time, if we're not gonna break it up into any special day or months, everybody's mental health matters because it's your mental health. Whether you have a mental illness, or maybe you might just be depressed, or maybe you might be feeling stressed, or you're feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, or you might have anxiety or feel overwhelmed, it's totally different because the consistency in having a mental illness, from speaking to what you were saying, because I be feeling like that. It's like, well, you say, your mental health was affected. For instance, like Donald Trump. This is one of the most recent things I've seen. Um, but I seen a friend of mine just post, both sides, because a bird has two wings. You know what I'm saying? So if a bird has two wings, it's the same body, right? So no matter what, both sides suck. That's all it said. You know what I mean? Both sides suck. And there was somebody who commented, saying that that post was ignorant, and that it didn't have any empathy or sympathy or any wherewithal to people who have been had their life turned upside down the last 6 months and stuff like that. And the only thing I'm thinking is like, because these same people we're on coast mode. You know what I mean? And when you speak the truth back to that, like you could have been in the last 6 months preparing, you could have been in the last 6 years preparing, because if you watch the scape of the world, it ain't been getting better. They've been showing you where this world is going. Our food supply has been getting worse. Uh, Immigrants have been here and they have had people in support of that. Then you had different regimes who want to get that out of here. So it's showing you, the lopsidedness. It's showing you that, our economics. We have shows about it, so I know it's real. It's showing you that we lack fathers in the home. And that's why a lot of, we have stigmas on being the mad black man, because again, the lack of the father in the home, or the lack of the father in the relationship in the family period with the mother, and doing it correctly, working with each other to make it better for the kid, whether y'all together or not, is why, because we pick on up the traits of our mother, most of us, and we got to get out of that. You got to learn how to not run from it, not suppress it, but feel it and deal with it. And that's where you have control over your mental health. I just don't like the stigma on it or the run to it when it's convenient, because you see a lot of people, they don't want to change their diet. Like that's one of the most, that is the, I ain't say eat this way, is that way, but if you gonna eat meat, I don't see you looking for butchers. I don't see you looking for, hey, I live in the country. Hey, you got anybody out there that got any cows? You got anybody? And I know I'm just using myself as an example, but everybody got a family or a friend that live in a country area or something. I'm just saying, when you sit back and you don't talk and you listen to people speak, I heard what you said, or you sit back and you watch. Well, I just seen you go out every weekend and do this and do that. But now it's you saying your mental health. But you could have used that time to work on it to get out on the other side. We can't keep running from it, because you're never gonna heal from it. You're just gonna keep putting it to the side, putting it to the side, putting it to the side. And then as men, you are looked at to lead. You are looked at as a powerful figure. You are looked at to get yourself together, because if you don't, how can somebody behind you? And even more, we're creating bloodlines. We're creating a legacy. So you have to be there for that. So the stigma comes from, for me, the way we were brought up. Don't say nothing. Don't express your feelings. Don't express your emotions. Just be quiet. Which is why you see so many men in today's time just suffering in silence. But every disagreement ain't an argument, and all your feelings are valid too. But as I tell any adult, your feelings are valid, your emotions are valid, but we have to control them. A lot of our feelings and our emotions are what takes us, into doing things that we regret, as far as murder. I see people crashing cars. Like you'll see two people in the parking lot arguing, then the next thing you know, people ramming their car into somebody. And that all comes from, the lack of emotional intelligence, the lack of self-control. So it's very important. I don't play the society way, so it shouldn't just be no month. Like, man, you gotta really check in and do the work. You should be exercising. You should be getting the proper amounts of sunlight. And this don't have to do with, it don't have nothing to do with me or nothing. It has to do something with your DNA build. It's not it's not about the way you feel. It's not about like, you're built up. We are copper color individuals. Even more, we're indigenous to this land. Even more when you watch, movies like with the blue people like Avatar, and they have locks, and they take their locks and they connect it to the trees, and it connects. Well, we used to have, trees that went to heaven. What I mean? It's saying stuff to us for a reason. You can go hug a tree and it could change your life. You pissed off, and it sounds funny because everything that we're ignorant to, because we've been detached, sounds funny to somebody because it's a defense mechanism. But you can go hug a tree, what I mean? The birds do be talking to you. If you ever notice, when you in your good groove and things are right, like birds following you, things chirp, y'all can chirp back, but it's just like everything's in sync. So men's mental health matters, first and foremost, but our people, our mental health matters, because I think we're fighting ourselves the most, you know what I mean? And when you get that mental right, you'll get out of your own way. So, yes, man. As we move forward to our break, we always want to encourage you to continue to be your best that you can be. And that's why it takes physical, emotion, mentally, financially, because that's one of the biggest things that weighs us down as men and women, where we're growing our finances. So, eat right, sleep right, meditate, get out in nature, please. Connect to the source. Get you some sun. Get you some vitamin D, please. Be mindful of the suicide hotline, which is the emergency number 988. You can call it. You can text. Don't hesitate. You can share your information, or you could be anonymous. But do remember that nobody knows what you're going through if you don't feel comfortable to tell somebody. You have to speak up and get the help. As you can see, they're putting the solutions right there out there for you.
Yes, sir.
So, moving forward, man, we're gonna jump right past that, and then go ahead, bro. You can go into the June is
All
men's
right,
mental
all
health.
right. So as we mentioned previously, in June is Men's Mental Health Month. The purpose of Men's Mental Health Month is to highlight unique mental challenges faced by men. Also, to promote open conversations about men's mental health, to encourage men to seek early detection and treatment of mental health conditions, to break down the stigma associated with men seeking help for mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? So that's just some key points right there, bro. And as you want to go into the next one?
Yes, the importance of men's mental health. Men are more likely to die by suicide than women. Mental health disorders affect millions of men each year, and many men avoid seeking help for their mental health issues due to the stigma and cultural expectations. So let's watch a video and let's come right back and get into a dive in again.
Yes, sir.
June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Isabella Moody spoke with people who have seen boys and men struggle silently.
When people think of depression, they typically think of sadness, certain language, or isolating. But in boys and men, it could look different.
They may be more irritated. They may show a lot of aggression, a lot of anger, and so forth. So those are some things that we can look for as well. To really, that can be some warning signs.
Marcy Tankersley lost her brother to suicide. She tells me she never saw signs of him struggling with his mental health.
Suicide rate in men is way higher than women. And I think that's why, because they were never taught to express their emotions. So that's the way my brother was raised. That's the way, so many men were raised. And my brother committed suicide when he was 21 years old. So I don't remember him talking about anything. I didn't think he was depressed, but I do know now that he was, and he was silently struggling with.
Mental health experts say the stigma that men can't show emotions makes it hard for them to express their feelings.
Men need to really challenge that their understanding of masculinity. And one of our understandings of masculinity, which is very outdated, is we got to be strong. We got to do this by ourselves. We just got to tough it out. But in reality, we just have to address it.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention hopes to raise awareness with an Out of the Darkness walk in October. If you are struggling with mental health, you can also call the suicide hotline at 988.
Yes, indeed, man. So, for men, me being a man today and teaching young men to move forward, I think we just got the definitions of the words like strong, like masculine, like tough. I think we just placed them on the wrong actions. You know what I mean? Silence is never just being strong or being tough. You know what I mean? When you're in pain, because now you're suffering alone. Maybe you're sharing it with the wrong people. You're not going to get a multitude of people who care that you're hurt or that your feelings or that you're sad or you're depressed. What you have to do is find someone who or people who care. You know what I mean, to make sure you're okay. But you also have to be willing to take the advice given, apply it, keep it moving. Even outside sources like counselors, like therapy, like volunteering, peer support groups, all those things. But you have to do it step by step and accept the information that they're giving you, because a lot of times we get help You know, we shun it because it ain't the help that we want, or, you know, we get the advice, but we don't use it because it ain't the advice that we want. So we form trauma building circles or trauma bonds with just one or two people or one person. You know what I mean? So you dump today, they'll dump tomorrow, and then, you know, the next day y'all be dumping together and y'all not healing. You know what I mean? You have to be intentional about your healing. And I believe isolation um, is one of the main things that you're going to have to get comfortable with. But you're never alone. You know what I mean? You have to remember that you're a spiritual being, so you are connected to a higher power. So you don't continue to look outside. You got to go inside. And they left us tons of books for you to do that. And then when you go outside, you got to go into the physical world. But you got to connect with the things that the Most High created for your sanity. Um, if not, you know, you're just going to continue to do what most people do, and that's die without healing. That's die without knowing their purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's another big issue which has men in that place. You know, like she said, her 21-year-old brother committed suicide, and she said he ain't even talk. You know, I'm big on talking. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. It's gonna be long winded. You know what I mean? Because I want to tell you every detail. But you also do that to challenge people. You know, when you have people who change the subject on you all the time and stuff, then it's cool. I don't need to talk to you. You don't have to say it to them. You just keep that in mind, but you just talk to those who care about it.
Mhm.
I don't want to weep and I don't want to cry every time. I want to talk to you. I want to release, and then I want to move forward. You know what I mean? We got to stop uh, continuing to talk to the wrong people, and then they just keep it going because now, most of the time, you create a double load of stress. I know it did for me, or depression, because it fell on deaf ears. So it's like, damn, why did I even say it there? You know what I mean? Why didn't I take it to the Most High? Why don't we remember that the Most High is in control? You know what I mean? You got angels, you got ancestors, you got the universe is in control. So there's nothing on this planet, you know, that can really do nothing to you. But you have to believe that. And how I know that it's real is because look at all the stuff we've been through. Look at your lights might have been cut off, your water might have been cut off, you might didn't have what you wanted to eat, but you had the food that you needed. You know what I'm saying? So there's tons of things that keep you reminded. And men, you got to find circles. You know, you have to find other men that you can speak to. Uh, or like I said, man, stress. It's a reason why you get them heart attacks. It's a reason why you get those strokes. Like the proof is in the pudding. So we can go back and forth all day and talk about feelings and emotions, but we can also go to facts and it's documented. And this is why it's documented.
Yes, sir. I totally agree, man. And the key thing I caught from the professionals and from the lady with the 20-year-old brother was just speaking, bring it to our attention. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
main thing is just let it be known, man. You got to take that step to let it be known that you're going through something. Silence never breaks nothing.
Nothing.
So I'm gonna jump into how we support men's mental health. Encourage men to talk about their feelings. Provide resources and support to men struggling with mental health issues. Challenge stereotypes about men's mental health. Promote healthy lifestyle habits that support mental well-being. So that's like what we preach all the time, man. And it's like a making it your lifestyle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Healing, making healing your lifestyle, you know. Making being healthy your lifestyle. Make talking being your lifestyle, releasing, you know. You gotta make it a habit. You gotta make it you gotta be consistent, you gotta be determined, you got to be open, you got to be willing to take the advice and accept what the answer is going to be. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's always probably going to be what you need to hear. Um, I just feel like if we don't say nothing, man, and we still keep silence and still live by the old stereotypes and man, gotta be this and gotta be that. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what I always learned in my last probably like 20 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a man that can cry in front of you, can release talk, laugh, joke, stand up, be solid, whatever, then that's a man. Like that's a dangerous man too, but it's definitely a man. So I'm just big on letting it out now, because the more you hold it in, the worse it gets. I feel that's what I experience.
Yeah,
What you think,
and
bro?
I agree. I mean, what you're saying is not only your feeling, but it's the truth. I mean, if you hold gas in too long, you'll explode. You know what I'm saying? If you hold your pee in too long, your bladder. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
we have to start doing that just on a practical level because you would say that and somebody would challenge that. But then I just said what I said, and it's the truth. You know what I mean? If you put too much in a bowl with a lid, it'll pop the lid. You know what I mean? We have to do this, or if not, we will continually go on social media and complain and complain and complain. And what we don't get is that, like you said, we got to be mindful with our words and how we talk. We got to be mindful with our actions and how we move. Um, but you got to pour into yourself. I feel um, like you said, we've been through a lot of years of a depression, of all the things that we can hang on to. But I think being as though we have that mentality passed on to us from slavery, even though the chains are off the body, they are on the mind. So I feel like, it's easier, to be the victim than to do the work and be the victor. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's on a solo mission. It's like being on a losing team. You've had a team. I use the Eagles, for example, because a lot of people know them. But they didn't have a Super Bowl for a long time. But that you still on your team. But you'll have people that make it to the Pro Bowl. That's how you got to be with our team. First with the Brown side, you know what I mean, with the Copper side, but then with the American side. Look, we on the same team no matter what. You can't do nothing about it. But if you gonna keep doing and losing, I'm gonna get me my individual wins, so I can get my most valuable player, so I can get my most improved player, so I can get my reward. It sucks that we won't get the full reward, but my life don't have to be hell because I'm living in one. You know what I mean? You
Right.
have to, and that came
Right.
from healing and being on the journey of healing because you can't force people, you can't control people, and you can't. Also, you can't speedball their healing. You know what I mean? It's literally gonna take people to say, "Nah, this is what I want, this is what I need," because it's just like when you put, uh, for instance, before we get out of here, when people say, "All right, I'm going to Cancun next year," you know what I'm saying? So what they do from that moment, they get the price, they see how much the flights are, they see how much the rooms are, if they're gonna get an Airbnb, if they're gonna rent a car. Man, you gotta be that detailed about all the stuff going on for your progress. You know what I'm saying? You got,
Yeah.
it's gonna take me to the gym. It's gonna take me to go to bed earlier. It's gonna take me to save money here. It's not gonna take you doing whatever you want, doing the same thing, think you're gonna get different results, and then you get to go online and complain with a bunch of people who feel your pain because they're doing the
Right.
same thing you're doing too. Everybody can do
Mm.
this. Only a few people can apply. Only a few
Yeah.
people can do it every day. Only a few people can say, you know what? I'm tripping. It's in your hands. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Only thing I can do is put my intent and do what I can. I'm gonna do what I can. Now, when somebody asks, "Did you do all that you could do?" Yes or no? That's only the question. I mean, that's the only answer. Did you do all that you can do for yourself first?
Yeah.
Most people gonna say no. So why do we even have to go any further? Why you worry about what Donald Trump gonna do for you? Why you worry about what Jesus gonna do for you? Why you worry about what Allah gonna do for you? Did you do all that you can do for your own self? No, because we're comfortable, because it's not our fault in entirety, because we were taught this, that somebody's going to always come save the day, whether it was Captain Planet, whether it was Superman, whether it was Jesus, Moses, anybody, but it's never you. You can't never get your confidence high enough to believe in yourself and love yourself enough to know that you're living in your own days of your Bible. This is the book of Samaj. This is the book of Kendall. And in my Bible, I got the book of James and I got the book of Samaj. You know what I mean? You got a book
Yeah.
of Cali. You got a book of, you know what I mean? Write your
Yeah.
story. Make
Yeah.
it interesting. It gets better.
Yeah.
See, nobody came out perfect and stayed that way. We came out
Mhm.
perfect. but you got tarnished. Like I just was telling Zoe, you got one body. On this side, you ate a salad on Monday, but you had what 20 more meals for the week, and all 20 of them were poison. One salad to 20 poisons. Your body ain't clean. It's got. If we can't have practical conversation and normal conversations for you to hear the truth, then we're never gonna get there. So it's best, at least if you get there, then you at least know how to deal with people that are where you've been. A lot of people not gonna know how to deal with you because they ain't been where you've been or where you're going.
Right.
But you'll at least
Right.
know how to deal with them. You know what I mean? And keep
Right.
it at peace. Let them fight the battle in the war themselves. And I'm saying this as men because you get tested all day, every day, especially our men. You know what I mean? Same thing happens for our women, but we just focusing because it is Men's Mental Health Month. But your actions can also teach women how to become better women. And their actions can
Mhm.
do the same. We can play vice versa instead of pointing the finger at one another. Go out there and become the best you. And that's going to inspire me to become the best me, and vice versa. We can all shut up. Let's put the
Yeah,
work
man.
up. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
that. I love the way you use that example though, with you and Zoe, because it's still crazy because not crazy, but it's so unique that, and it shows his growth too, and it shows that he can accept, because still when he left your presence, he said, "I love you, brother. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate what you did to me, brother. I appreciate what you did for us, brother. Appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
accepting my family, your household, brother." So it shows that you grow on that not that you grow on people, that you're supposed to be in there in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And he never shies away from you. You can see that it's genuine love. Yeah, we make mistakes, but he knows that you're genuine. He can come to you with the mistake, getting
Mm-hmm.
the solid truth, and he can accept it, and then try to apply
I'm
it,
glad that you spoke on that because that type of stuff bleeds over. You know what I mean? He meet up with you. You know what I'm saying? He see you. He got jokes about you shooting basketball and come hug you. But that's the whole
Yeah,
purpose of what yesterday was for. I want people
yeah,
who say thank you for the littlest things. If I hand you a paper towel, you say thank you. You know what I mean? When we leave each other, everybody says, "Yo, text me when you get home."
yeah,
Again, everybody loves what they love about their world. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives me my little piece of childhood. Last night, seeing Allie and I have to sleep on the couch and seeing you sleep on the floor and Ashley sleep here and Mommy sleep there and Shannon sleep here. It just
yeah,
gave me a little bit of joy of what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Where you just grab a pillow from the couch, put it on the ground, and lay on it. When you ain't have to worry about nobody arguing, fighting. Like, bro, we about to have a great time and say I love you. Like pass that word around a little bit. Mean it. Show it. Oh man, you can have my chair. Like little stuff like that. Like you want some more beans? Oh man, help yourself. You don't need nothing. But I also want to teach you when you invite me, hold me and my lady down like that. When we come to your
yeah,
crib, set it out. You ain't got to set it out for everybody because everybody,
yeah,
that's what we got to get to. Everybody needs to learn that no, you can enjoy it here, but you're going to go enjoy something else tomorrow. You're going to enjoy my food. You're going to go here. You're going to go here. No, this is for people who don't get a chance to go everywhere and enjoy. You know what I mean?
right,
And feel like it's peace and feel like it's love and feel like it's just a good time for all the work that you put in. And lastly, before we get out of here, the fact that you said Zoe, and I got there's a few more other brothers that's like that. It's just if you build that bond, we built a bond from sports, but the fact that we can be honest with each other. Like if I'm tripping, I go ask him like, "Yo, you married? Give me some advice real quick." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because I know him. He's fighting for the relationship to stay together. That's what a real friend does first. Like, yo, can y'all stay together? You know what I mean? They go blow it up. It ain't perfect. I've been married for over 10 years and it ain't going to be. But we got to heal so we can experience what that's
mhm,
like. So to have honest people to tell him, like, bro, you tripping? Because now he'll say it to me. Bro, I wilded out on my diet. I was tripping. Like, yeah, but he going to get his
yeah,
butt up and
yeah,
work out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you need that. Men, we
yeah.
need counsel. When you need counsel, you need the
That's
right
dope.
people in your life. You need the right people talking to you. Because some people be jealous of what you have. You know what I mean? And all you can have is some light, but they in so much darkness that they jealous of your light.
Yeah,
That don't mean stop shining. That don't mean put a dim over it and a lamp cover. Mm-mm. Shift like the sun does. The sun go like this. Keep shifting. You're gonna
Yeah.
hit the right people. Some people get a little bit of you, like they supposed to. You get a little bit of me. Boom.
Yeah.
But when y'all get together and you hit another sun, go ahead and light up the sky. Go ahead and light it up. You know what I mean? Because we deserve that, bro. We don't have to continue to make uh poor decisions from a poor, poverty-stricken mindset. We don't have to keep getting upset about every little thing when it comes to things that's outside of us. They don't matter. We don't have to be evil to each other. But when you got your cheerleaders, when you got your people that depend on you, turn it up. Because the cheat code for men, we know men. So men are gonna have conversations that distract them about women. They're gonna have distractions. Oh, my wife, all this. They're gonna shut their day down. If you can control all that and don't worry about none of that, and really it ain't affecting you, you can get more hours of stuff done while they gonna take off. Same thing I tell women. Look, you ain't gotta be a man. Just dominate these women. You know what I mean? You don't
Mhm.
have to get your nails done. They spend 2 hours there, waste money. Cool. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to get your hair. You could do it yourself. But the only thing I'm saying is, you're gonna beat what most women can't when you decide to do what most women won't because you're a woman. You know that. For us men, let's do what most men won't. Most men will turn to a bottle. Most men will start digging, and start beating and doing. No, most men won't go to the gym. Most men won't say, yo, you mind meditating with me? You mind praying? You mind pulling out a book? You mind putting my feet in grass? No, because it looks soft. So we have to be the example for our community, especially for the young men that's coming behind us. And the same thing reigns supreme for our women. You know what I mean? Nobody is it. I ain't going to say nobody because we're speaking for ourselves, but everybody ain't against you. You know what I mean? Some of us don't know how to get it the first time. We're still working on maybe tone delivery, that part, but we
Mhm.
love you. When you got true love, it shows up in the form of more than just words. It shows up in the
Right.
form of act. You know what I'm saying? So let's do more of showing ourselves some love so it can project. And I'm speaking to all my men. You don't have to stay in darkness. Start going the other way. But if you continue to do the same things with the same people, going to the same places, and thinking you're going to get different results, and masking your pain, it's going to be a tough road for you, brother.
That's a fact, man. Man, so with that being said, man, this is the Leaders Only Show, digital show and podcast, live streaming every Sunday at 2 o'clock. We appreciate you joining us for season 5, episode 32. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you caught some things, some pointers if you're struggling through this mental health month. We'll be so looking forward to you joining us next week. Like us, like always, man. We ask that you like, subscribe, click the bell, follow us. We are brought to you by What a Change Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone TV. I am one of your hosts, Kendall,
And I am Samaj.
and
And don't forget,
always
hold on,
good.
bro. Don't forget, you can always
My
email us.
bad.
We're looking for cool places. Like we've
Sir.
been finding cool places. We've been finding schools from our history that were for us. We've been finding the Underground Railroad stuff. So we're gonna start going to these locations and giving you some backstories. That stuff that's right around you. But stories, people we should talk to, topics that we should cover. Please send them to leadersonly22@gmail.com. We'll love to hear from you. And just like we did last week, we don't have a problem opening up the
That
panel.
conversation. If you
Huh?
got conversations, you got people that you want to highlight. Anything
Yeah.
like that, man, shoot it to us, man. Give us some ideas. Shoot it to us, man. Y'all are our family, especially to the ones that subscribe and that's on. They watch us every week, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. We ask that y'all bring it to us, man. We got you. We got you. We definitely pay attention to y'all.
Yeah. So if you would like to discuss a topic and open up the floor, you know what I mean? So we can just have a discussion about it like we did last week. Feel free, you know what I mean? Because no topic is too small. There's a lot of small topics that's giving our families and our bloodlines big problems, you know what I mean? That can literally be solved with a conversation. And you may not be able to speak to them, but maybe they'll be able to hear it with a conversation straight from your heart with other people that don't have no bias on the situation.
Yes, sir, man. So
With
with
that
that
being
being
said,
said, we love y'all. Peace, blessings, and once again, man, bro, we appreciated you today, yesterday, always, man.
yeah,
Love
indeed,
you, man.
always. The next one, love you too.
Peace.